So I just want to do a quick unboxing and quick listen, quick first impressions, quick overview of my brand new Denon Envaya DSB-250bt speakers. So I used to have the Denon Envaya Mini, which was a fantastic little speaker. I mean, it's like that sort of size. Still can't fault the sound. You know, a nice full-bodied sound for a speaker that size. And I used to use them, had a pair of them. I do like playing stereo pairs. I had a pair of them and I used to wire it to a Bluetooth receiver. But issues with that is the battery life really poor. Also big bass reduction as you go up. So you couldn't really play them outdoors much, but still a much loved speaker, which I got rid of to get something a bit louder. I know they've come out with some other new speakers. It wasn't until I saw this last one hit, the 250, which seemed to be a grown-up version of that sound that I was getting in the Denon Envaya Mini. So super excited to hear exactly if it's like everyone's saying, it's a fantastic speaker already. So I thought I can't miss that opportunity. Plus you can now play them wirelessly in a stereo pair without going into the app. Problem with the JBL speakers that I'm using at the moment, like the Charge series and Flip 4s, it's a nightmare using the app. A lot of the times I tried to play them in stereo and it ain't just not happening. It's just I can't do it. So not having to use an app and have them, I don't know if they remember, it's going to be interesting to see, but certainly just hitting the Bluetooth button, as they say, to pair them up in stereo or party mode is going to be great if it works, and if it's going to be as good. I mean, I have to say, going up, just a quick look at the specs, 2 times 10.5 watts, 27 watts, comparison to the JBL Charge 3, 20 watts. So a pair of those, you know, I used to like the Extreme before, the JBL Extreme before I sold that. So 2 of those could be a decent sounding, but with the loudness of JBL Extreme. That was about the sort of loudness that I would really want, because it works outdoors as well as indoors. So just going to do the quick unboxing, just go over some of the specs. And by the way, one thing that has surprised me, it's Bluetooth 4.1. So a lot of the other new speakers coming out at the moment, JBL, Sony, Bluetooth 4.2. So they must have had this in the works for some time before they really hit the market. So I don't know if they've worked on their processing for a lot of that time, and you know, the guts of the actual speaker itself rather than bleeding edge technology. But whatever they've done, according to what people are saying, it's a really great sounding hi-fi kind of speaker. So I am going to unbox them now. So they only come in 2 colors, I believe, and the black and like browny grey or something, so 2-tone. I do like to be able to tell them apart, if there's a problem with one of the speakers, and then also when I've got them in stereo. I'm not sure if they're going to remember left and right or not, then I want to know what is left and right. So here we go. By the way, very little branding to tell you, weirdly, exactly what it is. The only way I know it's the right speaker is if I go to the bottom, and right on the bottom, in little letters, almost like it's small print, it says DSB-250bt. So that's a bit weird. So I mean, all their different size speakers are going to look quite similar in a box. Oh, there it is. So it's just the sort of size, it's actually lighter than a JBL Charge 3 by about, I think, 100 grams. A perfect size for, you know, a properly portable travel speaker. So yeah, it's surprisingly light, I've got to say. I do like it, that sort of shape. It's kind of JBL-esque, except it's a bit squarer than the round shape, but very usable, very hand-holding friendly. Rubberized at the ends. It does have a big passive radiator, which seems to be the big deal with this speaker. So it's 153 millimeters by 53 millimeters. I just want to say how much of that speaker it actually takes up. So 153. Would be, so it's almost the whole body. So from there to there is a passive radiator, and it's almost a full light. So almost the whole of that is the passive radiator. It's got two 40mm drivers. Denon say they are oversized proprietary drivers. So I'm not sure what they mean by oversized. Can only be oversized compared to what they put in something else, or what they would have put in, I don't know. But 40mm is quite in line with similar spec'd speakers. So I don't know if it's got power in, so we're going to power it up. Or shall I think I'll take my other one out first. By the way, this is IP67 rated. So the IP ratings, the 6 and the 7 stand for two different things. The 6 stands for physical ingress, you know, little bits of dust getting in it, and the second figure is for liquids getting in it. So 6 would equate to, as I think their top spec for dust ingress, as they call it. So it's basically dust proof. There shouldn't be any dust getting in there. 7 means it's protected for short periods in water. Now, Denon say it's rated for 30 minutes in 1 meter of water. So it's kind of the shallow end. If you've not seen it for a while and you're within that 30 minutes, it's good. So it's certainly splash proof, and up to 1 meter if you've dropped it in. It should be absolutely fine, and it's going to be good in a bath if that's your kind of thing. So I'll open up the second one. Just to show you what's actually in the box. It's a little booklet that says "Let's go." So it's just a quick user guide about the charging, how to connect. Yeah, so it says it's compatible with Siri Play. No mention of Android in here, so I don't know if it's going to work on an Android. I don't personally use that through my speaker, but there you go. A bit about Envaya Link, just how it works. Once your mobile device is paired with the master speaker, power on the second speaker. So don't power on the second one till the first one is set up. Press and hold the Bluetooth pairing button on the speaker and slave speaker simultaneously for 6 or more seconds. Once you hear a beep, the pairing of the two is complete. And then it's just got it in other languages. More instructions. It says safety instructions on that, and it's just USB, so no USB-C. Again, not quite in line with bleeding edge technology, is it? So I do think this must have been in the planning for a long time, which is good. You know, so maybe that's why they're saying it's so good, if it really is as good. Sometimes I don't agree with what are the trending speakers, but so USB micro, USB micro, and that is your lot. That is your lot. I mean, JBL normally throw in a plug as well, but it's the speaker that counts, isn't it? So let's power them up. Let's power on this one first, the black one. So just to say, on the side we've got the volume up, volume down, volume up, Bluetooth, your phone button, which you also use if you want to use Siri, and your power button in the middle. I must say they're all black, so I'm not sure how easy that would be in the dark, but it is raised off the surround, so you could certainly feel for them. So let's So it appears to be no charge in this. Okay, so no charge. I can't actually do the overview right now of all the listening. Well, I hope it's that there's no charge. Let me just stick it in a USB. So we got the power lights, which is good. That's I like that. So you can actually see where the power are. Unlike I think on the Flip 4, the power lights are underneath. You can't actually see it when it's in use or anything. So that's right at the front. Yeah, no charge. Oh, which surprised me, because on some of the other videos I've watched, they've seemingly been able to play it straight away. So no charge. It's charging up. So nothing I can do right now. I will have to go away and either add it into this video or just do it in my complete overview, my review of it, where I will compare it to the only speakers I've got at the moment, so the Flip 4, Charge 3 and my Sony X77, if anybody cares about that speaker. So some of the quick specs, mention the IP rating, the Bluetooth 4.1, they say the battery life, according to the website, is 13.5 hours. That normally means mixed use, so high volume, a lot less, low volume, might get a bit more. Takes 3.5 hours to charge, so I probably won't do anything today with this. Anyway, they say to fully charge 3.5 hours. A major plus is it supports aptX low latency, so that's excellent, something you don't get in JBL speakers. I guess we'll just have a quick play of the one and make sure it works, but I won't get a chance now to do stereo. So let's have a go, just playing like this.
To my pulse flat, we keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black, got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin', doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling, my phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah, what it do? Penthouse, man, what a view. Fall back cause I'm coming through with my whole team, they coming too, that's real. Okay, it's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black, got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin', doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling, my phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah, what it do? Penthouse, man, what a view. Fall back cause I'm coming through with my whole team, they coming too, that's real.
The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes.
Would it seem colder in your summertime and hotter in your fall? And we were made in his image then.
First impressions. Yeah, okay, fair enough. This time I think the hype is justified. So it does sound great, and it does sound another level to the JBL. I'm not on another level hi-fi terms, but it is on initial listening a little bit hard edge. It may be a little bit harsh, a little bit tiring down the line. I'm not sure, but yeah, you're getting all the music, you're getting a stereo image. It certainly would be respectable for a travel speaker and serious listening. I've only listened to a few songs, but yeah, I'm not going to say I'm blown away, but it is a £160 speaker. £169 at the moment, obviously, is going to come down a bit. It's always more expensive when it first hits the market, but say £169 in the UK. The JBL, it's hard to say what price it is because depending on which country you're in and what deal you manage to get, it can be about the same price, it could be half the price. I don't know. I don't dislike the JBL Charge 3, having heard them side by side. It's hard to explain. Yes, that's hollow and it doesn't have the stereo imaging, but I kind of, at high volume, vocals kind of projected a little bit more in an enjoyable way, where this is kind of harsh. It's hard to explain, but it sounds great, let me say. So I've only had a quick listen and I may grow to absolutely love it. I kind of love it already, so that's wrong already. It is a great speaker, but I can't say I immediately thought this is such an enjoyable listening. It's a good listen. Whether for my taste it may be a little upfront, you know, it reminds me of Sony's in-house processing, where they attempt to fill in a lot of music that actually isn't there. And if you go on the Denon website, it does say they use proprietary signal processing, and it, you know, it's different depending on which input you use, but to make more of the sounds. So I kind of would say it's almost as though you can hear there's a lot more process. It's an enjoyable listening. It's a great listen. It's great stereo imaging. You can place vocals. You can place instruments. Look, it's not a massive stereo. Don't get blown away. Some reports may have you thinking, you know, it's one side of the room to the other, but you know, it's like that. Whereas the JBL Charge 3 is boxy in comparison. And some of the high-end speakers that they recommend are very boxy, which to me, I couldn't listen to it. I hate that. That's why I like stereo pairs, because I don't like a boxy. I like it to come out of the speakers to get a stereo image, as you should, and you do get that with the Denon. But it's kind of obvious that there is a lot of processing going on. It's just hard to explain, but I do like it. I don't, you know, I think for the money, it's probably is as good as you can do, especially if you are trying to, you know, hear music for music's sake, and it's not just something to jump around to for a few seconds or something like that. Almost any speaker can do if you turn the volume up. It does sound a serious speaker, but I can't say off the top of my head, wow, I'm going to sit down and listen to that for hours. So it was nice. It put a smile on my face, but there's something hard-edged about it. But that may be that it needs running in. A lot of these speakers do improve for a lot after, you know, a considerable amount of play. So, and obviously my JBL Charge has had a lot of play. And I'm not really comparing it to Charge 3. And they're similar in size, similar in weight. Depending on what deal you get, can or cannot be similar in price. But I do agree, they are different league. The Denon 250 is definitely a league above the Charge 3. Something I just point out, which is kind of good, kind of not so good. There's not a lot of feedback when you're pressing the side buttons. Now, you have to, if you want to get all the full bass out of this speaker, as pointed out by Clavinet Junkie, and I have to say, absolutely correct. You have to put the volume full up on the speaker before you start messing around with your phone. If you don't, yeah, there's a huge chunk of bass missing. So you've got to press the volume up. Now, there's not a lot of feedback to know if you're at the top volume, except that on the front where you can see the lights flashing telling me it's charging, it does tell you if you're at minimum volume or maximum volume. So if I press the volume down, I'm getting no feedback. I've got no idea what's going on until it starts flashing and I know it's fully muted. If I want to turn it up, I've got to press it down quite hard really, Nothing happening until it says all lights flashing. So there'd be 5 lights flashing. I know it's maximum volume, but there's no sound that tells me it's at top volume. I think that's kind of awkward. And of course it's awkward that you've got to put the volume up. Hopefully they will have some firmware update. It does make it a nuisance. I wonder how that's going to affect it playing in as a stereo pair, whether that's going to be the same issue or not. That would be interesting to see. So my first impression is, yeah, I am well impressed, but for me and my taste, I can't say, wow, that's going to be the speaker that replaces everything at the moment, and it may well be, but it was kind of harsh, kind of hard sound, but it's enjoyable, but a bit in your face. But obviously, most people will probably love that because you're going to get a real solid thumping bass. For the size of the speaker, it's, I guess, astonishing. I said that about the Flip 4, and it certainly was, although again, with the Flip 4, I found it a bit in your face. I kind of like a sweet, mellow, laid-back sound, you know, but a full sound. I'm not sure that's completely in line with my personal taste, but anyone who's recommending, I mean, people have seem to have gone overboard with the praise on this, as I have done in some speakers that I never agreed with, but I do agree with this one. It does sound quite astonishing, and I can't wait to hear them as a stereo pair. So look out for my video, my full review. I'll do some proper sound comparisons. Thanks for watching.
UK